Hi guys, so we are going to be talking about the surface area of pyramids and cones. All right, I want you guys to notice something right here on the first problem. I forgot to give you that slant height, so go ahead and draw that in, and we'll talk about what that means. All right, so the slant height is happening from the vertex, from that apex right there, perpendicularly to the edge. And this is something new that we're seeing, and it's going to be used in our formulas for the surface area of pyramids and cones, and it's called slant height. That slant height right there is going to be signified by this lowercase letter L. Notice how it goes right here. You can use the height to ever help you find it using Pythagorean theorem if they don't give it to you. So for this first problem, I actually went ahead and did all of that work. You need two things for this. So you need the perimeter of your base, and you need the area of your base, plus your slant height. I gave you the slant height because, I'm sorry, I forgot to draw that in. Now your perimeter and your area of the base is using the actual bottom of your pyramid. And you only have one base to find the area of, unlike prisms that have two, one on the top and one on the bottom. Now the perimeter of this is going to be 10 plus 11 times 2, so that gets you 42. The area of that base is 10 times 11, so it's going to get you 110 inches squared. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to plug this into our formula. So 1/2 times your perimeter times your length plus the area of your base. And I am color coding just so it's easier for you guys to see this and understand. And then you're going to plug that into your calculator. Now this part right here, that's your lateral area. So I like to always find out what this is first. So that way, if I'm ever asked what the lateral area is, I don't have to do more work. It's already in there. I don't have to redo all of my work. So I'm going to make a note that my lateral area for this is 357 inches squared. In order to find our total surface area, we're just going to add it to the area of our base, and we get that our surface area is 467 inches squared. All right. Now, sometimes you're not going to be given the slant height, but what you are going to be given is the actual height and side lengths to find that out. I want you to remember that this apex right here is dropping down vertically and perpendicularly to the center of that base, and that's what gives us the height. And if it's perpendicular, we can also draw this out right here. That's going to be 8 because it's in the center, so 8 and 8. And then you can use Pythagorean theorem to find that hypotenuse of that triangle. So if you need to draw it out to the side, you definitely can. And you're looking for your slant height. So you've got 3 squared plus 8 squared is equal to the slant height squared. And then you look for your slant height. You're going to end up taking the square root of 3 squared plus 8 squared. And you're going to get approximately 8.5 feet. And now that you've got your slant height, you can go ahead and figure out what your perimeter is, and actually you could have beforehand anyways, and the area of your base, and just plug it into your calculator. So you've got a perimeter of 64 feet, and your base is 256 feet squared. So plug that into your calculator, figure out both the lateral and the surface area, and then check yours with mine. All right, for your lateral area, you should have gotten 272 feet squared. And then for your total surface area, you end up getting 528 feet squared. All right, now let's go ahead and work on the challenge. There are some important things that you want to notice in this word problem. We're talking about a roof, and it's a square-based pyramid. The base has a side length of 10, and the slant height of the roof is 9.4. So we're going to find the area of the roof. So I want you to think about it this way. You've got a square happening, a square pyramid roof. But that means you're only worried about this part. You would not be worried about that base down there because, well, you don't put a roof on the inside of it. You only put it all the way around. So you want to note that you're only looking for the lateral area. So it's application of all of that. So let's use our formula for lateral area. We've got 1/2 times the perimeter of the base times the slant height. They told us that the slant height was 9.4. And I think you can figure out that your perimeter is going to be 40 feet. So go ahead and plug that into your calculator and figure out what that lateral area is. You are going to end up getting an integer. All right, and this is what you should end up getting. It's really that easy, but you have to think about it and see how it applies to the real world. Can I put a roof on the bottom of that? All right, now let's talk about cones. Cones have almost exactly the same formula, except notice for pyramids we have that 1/2. Right before we multiply the perimeter times the slant height. For cones, you do not. But you are still using the slant height here. That's your slant height. It's just that diagonal part from the vertex to an edge. And it's right here in both of those parts of the formula. And that's because it's the lateral area that it's being repeated. So we're going to use our formula to find the surface area of a cone. And now that you've done it with the pyramid, it's going to be so much easier for you to do. All you need is your radius and your slant height. Your radius for the 7 and then 11.4. Because we're working with circles, we're going to start off with our exact answer, and then we're going to work our way to our approximate. The formula for this is pi RL plus pi r squared. I want you to be in the habit of writing out your formula and then plugging things in. And that's what I'm doing here. So we're going to try to keep it as exact as possible. And I get 79.8 pi for my lateral surface area and 49 pi for the area of my base. All right, so that's my lateral surface area there. I want to find my total exact surface area. Now I'm just going to add the 79.8 plus the 49, and that's going to get me 128.8 pi meters squared. When you plug that into your calculator, you're going to get approximately 404.64 meters squared. I always want you to plug this in all the way at the end so you get your most exact answer. All right, let's check out this one right here. They have not given you your slant height, but this one, it's a little bit easier to see that right triangle happening. And we're going to use our Pythagorean theorem to find out what that slant height is. So go ahead and find that slant height. Pause the video, find it. All right, and you should get approximately 19.2 yards. Remember, this is just a side length, so that's why it's still in 1 units to the 1, because PAV, 1, 2, 3. And then all we're going to do is plug it into our formula. Remember, this is going to be our lateral area. I want you to get it as exact as possible. And I will tell you your exact lateral area. And then I also want your exact total surface area and your approximate total surface area. So take a second, pause, and then come back and check your answers. All right, your lateral area is 172.8 pi, exactly, yards squared. And then your total surface area, the exact is 253.8 pi yards squared, which is approximately 797.34 yards squared. And so this is what your answer should be. All right, we've got one challenge problem. But again, if you've been writing your formula like I've been telling you to do, you should be totally fine for this. Important things to note, we're talking about a cone. They've given us the surface area, a diameter, and the slant height is what we're looking for. So from this, I can get my radius of 9. And that's about it. So what I'm going to do is write out my formula first. Pi RL plus pi r squared. And then we're going to plug in whatever we've been given. So we've been given 822.78 as our total surface area. Pi times radius of 9. We're missing our slant height. And then we've got everything else that we need. This is kind of like that soup can problem that we did on the surface area of cylinders. So let's go ahead and move it into exact answers first. All right, now in order to solve for L, we're going to go ahead and subtract that out. So about 81 pi is approximately 254.47. When you subtract it from both sides, you get 568.31 is equal to 9 pi L, or well, approximately. And then to solve for L, we're going to divide both sides by 9 pi. 9 pi is approximately 28.27. So divide by both, and you should get your slant height, which is approximately going to be 20.1 centimeters. All right, thanks for watching.